welcome to If We're Being Honest. My name's Steph. Welcome to my podcast, I guess. If We're Being Honest is something that genuinely I think I've wanted to start for the past 3 years of my life. As I've gotten older and I've lived 20 different lives, I feel like there's so many things that aren't talked about enough, that people are scared to talk about, that people are embarrassed to talk about, or that they talk about with their friends. But when you're going through these things, you want a sense of guidance, and by no means do I know the answers to everything, but I want to help in any way that I can. And even just for me, I feel like talking helps me realize a bunch of things, and all of my friends know that my favorite thing to do is talk. I don't think I ever took myself seriously when starting a podcast because I was scared of failure, or I was scared of not being relatable or getting made fun of, genuinely. But I feel like as I've gotten older, I've realized not everyone's gonna be for you, and to each their own. Everyone starts somewhere, and this is what I'm choosing to do. Growing up in Miami, I've really noticed like how superficial people tend to be, and it's really hard to find someone that genuinely can cover all topics for you, and you don't feel judged when you're talking to these people, or you don't feel like they're gonna go and talk bad about you. And that's something I struggled with a lot growing up, was having genuine friends. I had the worst experience in high school. I hated going to school, and not because of the school, but I feel like people growing up in Miami are just really superficial, and they were very cliquey, and I always felt like I was judged. By no means was I bullied. I'm very blessed. But I just think it was hard. I never really felt connected to those cliquey people. I was very overweight, and I think I just always felt judged by a lot of people that I went to high school with. And as I've gotten older, it makes me value my close friends so much more, and I'm so grateful, and I'm so blessed that I have my close friend group, and I have my boyfriend, and I have my family. Recently, my boss started a podcast, and I have been telling her that I've been wanting to start one for years, and she told me, she was like, essentially, like, you're your number one enemy, like, go for it, what's the worst that can happen? So that's why I'm here. She said I'm pretty good at talking to people, again, because I don't shut up. But yeah, I honestly just want to make an environment of some sorts where people feel like comfortable. And I think I've always been a person that's not very judgmental, because shit happens, you know? What happens to me can happen to anyone, what happens to anyone can happen to me. And it's like, I feel like the number one issue that humans have, me being guilty, is that they think that something's not gonna happen to them. This is honestly really weird, because I I don't shut up, but it feels weird just me sitting here telling you so much about me and just like talking about myself. I just feel like a little conceited. But I was born and raised in Miami. I graduated high school early because I hated it. And I feel like I've always just like dived into work, and it was kind of like my escape, you know? Not only did I hate high school, I had terrible grades, and that's why I decided to graduate early, because if not, I don't think I would have ever graduated. My last year of school, I think I went maybe 20 times to school. I think growing up, majority of my life, and like being overweight, genuinely one topic that has always stood out to me, and this ties back into the things that people don't talk about enough, is the body image issues that comes with a severe amount of weight loss. I don't think I've ever met one girl that hasn't had issues with food or with body image or hyperfixating on all these things. And it's so sad. I'm never gonna judge you, then why do I feel like I'm constantly being judged? Or why do I always feel like I have to be thinner? Or Why do I feel like I have to meet a certain standard when in reality, everyone is fighting their own battle? The toxicity behind social media and how it makes you perceive yourself now is something horrible. And I say these things, but again, it's very hard to like deep down believe them. You know what I mean? Especially like right now, going through like a skinny epidemic and skinny talk and no sé qué, all this. My whole For You page is literally just like, you could be thinner, don't eat, do this, walk 20,000 steps a day, because 10,000 all of a sudden, not enough. The effect that it has on like the mental health of people, including myself, is just something that's horrible. I just think there's so much more to you than what you look like and how thin you are. I feel like I've always been the funny friend, the happy friend, the yapper friend, because again, I don't shut up. And I feel like recently I've just like, I don't have the energy so much that I used to want to go out and to always be happy and always be smiling. And I feel like recently I've found myself to be like kind of lonely. A lot of my friends are gone for college. My boyfriend's in Argentina for 9 months, and yeah, I'm going to work all the time, and yes, I have my family again. I'm very blessed, but it just sucks. Like, it gives you a lot of time to just like think about a lot of things, and I just want to put my thoughts somewhere and maybe it'll help someone. I feel like this past summer I was trapped in like a bubble. I got into a relationship and all my friends were here and I was unemployed and I had just gotten back from a month abroad, and I went from such a high to a low. I've been employed the majority of my life. Ever since I was 14, I've been working. When everyone left, I kind of just like had a realization and I was like, what am I doing? Okay. I started a new job, which I love. I love everyone I work with. My coworkers are the best. My boss is the best. And I genuinely feel like I've kind of pushed myself out of my comfort zone a little. And I've met so many amazing girls. The older you get, the harder it is to make friends. And I'm honestly so grateful that I have such a great work environment where I've clicked with so many people on so many different levels. I guess essentially what I'm trying to say is like, I've always been the outgoing friend, the funny friend. I'm always laughing, I'm always smiling. But I feel like sometimes, like when I'm alone, I'm very like composed, if that makes sense. Again, I do consider myself to be pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. But it's kind of exhausting. I've always been a very happy person. I haven't struggled with mental health in ways that other people have. And in high school, I got diagnosed with anxiety. And I think that was really kind of like a step back for me because, again, I've always considered myself this super social butterfly who can talk to anyone. And I love talking to people. I love getting to know people. I'm very outgoing. So when I got diagnosed with social anxiety, I was like, I'm completely contradicting myself. That kind of tied into the weight, and I feel like since I felt everyone was judging me, I didn't want to leave my house. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to socialize. And then once I lost that weight, yes, it's gone, but you still feel judged. You know, someone can judge you for anything. You're never gonna make everyone happy. And I'm so grateful to my friends that went and pushed me out of my comfort zone. I think once I lost that weight, I started meeting so many people, and so many people that I'm still friends with to this day. But one thing I don't think I realized when I was younger was once that weight is gone, you're still gonna feel this way. You know, you're still gonna feel judged, whether that be for your weight or for something else. You know what I mean? And that's something that I've learned to navigate, and I'm still learning. By all means, I still get social anxiety, and I still feel like meeting people, they're not gonna think I'm enough, and whether that be enough as a friend or enough as a partner, or they're gonna judge me. And all I can hope with this podcast and this chapter that I'm starting, that hopefully you'll start with me, is learning something day by day. And my biggest thing is I'm just honestly trying to learn to not be so hard on myself and to take everything day by day. And it's okay that I don't have everything figured out, and it's okay that I don't have a set plan. And I feel like it's kind of hard because a lot of my friends are very school oriented and they're very dedicated, and I've never been that way. I hated school, and I've always just gone towards the working end. And sometimes, not that I feel judged, but I feel it kind of like a disconnect because I feel like I'm falling short in that sense. And I just want to learn to be okay.